Hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Mike T. Nelson here, and one of the main questions I got on the new program is why, or who exactly is this program for? So if you're using just a very static program, when you feel like you are absolutely compelled to just do squats because it said you're supposed to squat today, and you end up with pain, or maybe we can substitute in here lack of progress, then the program you're using is not going to be best because it's most likely a very static program. It may say Monday do squats of 5x5 and Thursday do some deadlifts. And all those kind of programs, if you don't have any pain and those movements agree with you, they can work pretty good. But if you're having some pain or you haven't really seen any progress from it, and the program you're using is very static, meaning that it's not changing on a day-by-day basis, you have basically two options in my opinion. One, you can go hire a coach, which I would highly recommend. That can definitely save you a lot of time and effort. But if you're not able to do that, or that is cost prohibitive, then I would recommend this new program. The reason for that is within the program, it's broken down into mechanical versus we can think of as system. So when you go to do something like a squat or a bench press or whatever your favorite exercise is, we know that there's some mechanical forces that are applied to your body by doing that exercise. What we can do then is we can do a specific, let's call a biofeedback test, using range of motion to then determine what mechanically may be best for you on that day. So here's an example. Let's say you go in and today it says deadlift day. It may say do a sumo deadlift or a conventional deadlift, or sometimes even something crazy like a Jefferson or a straddle deadlift. What you would do then is, if I'm going to test, say, a sumo deadlift versus a conventional, I would just do this with my warm-up sets. I would set the bar up, let's say, with just 135, and I would test my sumo deadlift using this biofeedback range of motion test, and then I would test that versus a conventional deadlift. Whichever one is better for that particular day is the one that I would do. So let's say conventional is better. So all my working sets then, I would use a conventional deadlift. So this is a way to take a more static program and have it change based on where your mechanics are that day, your structure, how the exercise is done. Maybe you spend a little bit too much time sitting, so one form of the exercise will be better than the other one. And the testing doesn't take very long, it just takes a few seconds. You don't need any fancy equipment, don't need anything crazy in order to do it either. The other way is looking at your body as a system. Since we know that everything affects your lifting performance and everything will affect you. If you had an extremely stressful day and your boss was mad at you and yelling at you and you're sitting crunched over in your chair all day, of course, that's probably going to affect your lifting performance. Or you didn't sleep well last night, or your nutrition is off. But it's nice to have a way to determine what to do with that or where you're at, which is why I like using heart rate variability. Simple measurement you would take each morning, requires a little bit of extra hardware, takes about 3 to 5 minutes total time, only done once per day. And what that tells you is basically, where is your stress level? A lot of our stress is unconscious, so we're not really understanding or realizing or cognizant of how much stress we're under. So we can do that measurement just once in the morning, and that'll tell us a good idea of how your body is performing as an overall system. Because we know that a lot of things that affect this are lifestyle related. And of course, the training you do is going to affect that also. So the system takes into account both mechanical and system stress in order to determine what is going to be best for you on that particular day. So how it does that is each program has a level 1, 2, and 3. So 1 is just your very basic static program, which if you don't have any pain and you're making good progress, everything is cool, yeah, you're probably pretty good to go with that. There's no need to really make it more complicated. Get in the gym, do the work. By far, consistency is going to be the best thing for your results. However, if you've not been seeing much progress or you're starting to have some pain from doing particular exercises, of course, you don't want to keep doing that. So by testing on level 2, we can test specific lifts. So it may say test your left arm versus your right arm. It may play with some rotation. It may even have you play around with press seated on the floor instead of standing. Right? So we're trying to work around whatever mechanical issues you have without necessarily hiring a coach. By all means, if you can hire a coach and have someone help you directly with that, cool. Go ahead and do that. That's probably going to be better. But if you're just running off of a static program, this is another way to change it within a template to know what direction to go. And then level 3 is incorporating both the biomechanical and then also a system level using heart rate variability. So that way you can determine, hey, should I be going hard today? Should I pull back a little bit? If I pull back, what should I do? Should I cut my volume? Should I do less exercises? Should I do some aerobic work? Or should I just say, screw it all, and I'm just gonna go sleep instead, right? So that'll help guide you to make sure that you're not training more than what your current recovery capacity can handle. And then each program includes 4 elements. We've got exercise, which includes all your sets, reps, exercises, how-to videos, right? And then again, on each level, we've got your nutrition. So maybe you're just trying to work on everything from some better habits to maybe specific macro-based nutrition, or maybe you're more advanced and you want to do macros with some specific timing based on metabolic flexibility around your training sessions. We also include, well, how do you monitor that, right? So there's tons and tons of stuff you can do to monitor things. I love all the quantified self things, but the reality is most people are not going to have time to go through and do that every single day. So we go through and tell you, okay, here's the top things that you want to track, and make sure you're good at tracking those instead of majoring in the minors and trying to track all the other stuff that doesn't matter. So you've got exercise component, you've got nutrition, you've got monitoring, and then of course, as we mentioned, your lifestyle. Right? So things such as sleep, things that enhance recovery, maybe you needed to go for some more walks, maybe do some meditation, different things like that to make sure that your training is compatible with your lifestyle. Or if you really, really want to push your training, you have to make sure that that's compatible with your lifestyle. If you're sleeping 6 hours a night and you're stressed out of your mind, it's probably not going to work so well. I've tried that in the past when I was finishing my PhD, and it did not end well. I do not recommend that for anyone. So each program includes everything you would need for exercise, nutrition, monitoring, and lifestyle. And again, that's divided on 3 levels depending on where you're at. If you just need a static program, cool. It's got all 4 of those elements. If you need something a little bit more advanced, or even you want to measure heart rate variability in addition to the biomechanics, cool. It has all of that included for it also. Last couple things too. So we've got a video, which is kind of what I call the deep dive, looking at more in-depth things, just kind of going a little further down the rabbit hole. We've got recipes, right? So if you're not sure what to cook, we also have a technique video. If you want to know exactly how to do a specific exercise, each month we highlight a specific exercise, everything from cueing to how to perform a deadlift. Also on this too, if you're a trainer, at the end of each video, I'll show you how to teach that to a client. All right, so here's the high points. Okay, go through this step list or checklist so you know exactly what to do for that. So briefly, that's what the program involves, and it is a month-to-month based program. So each month you'll get a new program so you know exactly what to do. It includes all your overload and everything else like that. So if you have any questions, hit me up and check out more information directly below this page. Dr. Mike T. Nelson, thank you very much.